Caesar. Casca!
Peace, ho, Caesar speaks.
Casca!
Here, my lord.
Stand you directly in Antonius's way when he doth run his course. Antonius!
Caesar, my lord! Forget not in your speed, Antonius, to touch Trebonius. For our elders say, the Baron, touched in this holy chase, shake off their sterile curse.
I shall remember. Well, when Caesar says, do this, it is performed.
Now set on and leave no ceremony out.
Caesar!
Huh? Who calls?
Caesar!
I hear a tongue shriller than all the music cry, Caesar! Speak! Caesar is turned to face. Now set her before me. Let me see her face.
Beware the Ides of March.
She is a dreamer. Let us leave her. Pass.
Trebonius?
Will you go see the order of the cause?
Not I.
I pray you do.
I am not gamesome. I do lack some of that quick spirit that is in Antony. Well, let me not hinder, Cassius, your desires. I'll leave you.
Brutus, I do observe you now of late. I have not from your eyes that gentleness and show of love as I was wont to have. You bear too stubborn and too strange a hand over your friend that loves you.
Cassius, be not deceived. If I have veiled my look, I turn the trouble of my countenance merely upon myself. Vexed I am, of late, of passions of some difference, conceptions only proper to myself, which give some soil perhaps to my behaviours, but not therefore, my good friends, be grieved.
Why then, Brutus, I much mistook your passions, by means whereof this breast of mine hath buried thoughts of great value, worthy cogitations. Tell me, Brutus, can you see your face?
No, Cassius, for the eye sees not itself, but by reflection, or by some other thing.
But it is very much lamented, Brutus, that you have no such mirrors as would turn your hidden worthiness into your own eye, that you might see your shadow. I have heard many of the best respect in Rome, except immortal Caesar, talking of Brutus, and groaning underneath this age's yoke, they'd wish that Brutus had her eyes.
Into what dangers would you lead me, Cassius? That you would have me seek into myself for that which is not in me?
Then be prepared to hear. And since you cannot see yourself so well as by reflection, I, your glass, will discover to yourself that of yourself which you yet not know of.
Hail Caesar! What means this shouting? I do fear the people choose Caesar for their king.
Hey, do you fear it? I think you wouldn't have it so.
I would not, Cassius. Yet I love him well. But wherefore would you hold me here so long? What is it that you would impart to me? If it be aught toward the general good, then set death in one eye and honour in the other, and I will look on both
I know that
indifferently.
virtue to be in you, Brutus, as well as I do know your outward favour. I was born free as Caesar. as were you. We both have fed as well. We can both endure the winter's cold as well as he, but this man has now become a god. And Cassius is but a wretched creature that must bend his body if Caesar but carelessly nod on him.
Well, another general shout. I do believe that these applauses are for some new honours that are heaped on Caesar.
Why, man, he doth bestride the narrow world like a colossus. And we petty men must walk under his huge legs and peep about to find ourselves dishonourable graves. Men at some time are masters of their fate. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves. That we are underlings. Brutus and Caesar. What is in that Caesar? Why should his name be sounded more than yours? There was a Brutus once that would have brooked the eternal devil to keep her state in Rome as easily as a king.
If you do love me, I am nothing jealous. What you would work me to, I have some aim. How I've thought of this, and of these times I shall recount hereafter. But for now, I would not, so with love I might entreat you be any further moved. What you have said, I will consider. What you have to say, I will with patience hear, and find a time both to meet and hear and answer such high things.
I am glad that my weak words have struck but thus much of a fire from Brutus.
But the games are done, and Caesar is returning.
As Casca passes by, pluck her by the sleeve and she'll tell us what a worthy note has happened today.
Well, I will do so, but look you, Cassius, the angry spots doth blow on Caesar's
Fuck
brow.
off!
Casca will tell us what happened.
Antonius,
Caesar?
let me have men about me that are fat, and sleek-headed men in such a sleepless nights. Yond Cassius has a lean and hungry look. He thinks too much. Such men are dangerous.
Fear him not, Caesar. He's not dangerous. He is a noble Roman and well given.
When he were fatter!
Yes.
But I fear him not. Yet if my name were liable to veer, I do not know the man I should avoid so soon as that spare Cassius. Such men as he never at a heart sees, and therefore are they very dangerous. I don't know, rather I tell thee what is to be feared than what I do fear, for always I am Caesar.
Yes.
Come on my right hand, for this ear is deaf, and tell me truly what thou thinkest of him.
You've put me by the cloak. Would you speak with me? Aye. Casca, tell us what hath chanced today that Caesar looked so sad.
Why, you were with him, were you not?
I should not then ask Casca what hath chanced.
Why, there was a crown offered him. And being offered him, he put it by with the back of his hand, thus, and the people fell a-shouting.
What was the second noise for?
Why, for that too.
They cried thrice. What was the third cry for?
Why, for that too.
Was the crown offered him thrice?
I, marry wast, and he put it by thrice, every time gentler than last, and at every time he put it by, mine honest neighbours shouted.
Who offered him the crown?
Why, Antony.
And then he came thus sad away. Aye.
Will you sup with me tonight, Casca?
No, I promised.
Will you dine with me tomorrow?
I, if I be alive, and your mind hold, and your dinner worth the eating.
Good. I will expect you.
Do so. Farewell both.
Blunt fellow this is grown to be.
So is she in some bold or noble enterprise. Her rudeness is source to her good wit. It makes her words easier to stomach with a better appetite.
And so it is. But for now, I will leave you. Tomorrow, if you wish to speak with me, I will come home to you, or if you will, come home to me and I will wait for you.
Until then, think of the world. Well, Brutus, thou art noble. Yet I see thy honourable metal may be wrought, from that it is disposed. Therefore, it is meet that noble minds keep ever with their likes, for who is so firm that cannot be seduced? I will, this night, in at her windows throw writings, as if they came from several citizens, all tending to the great opinion that Rome holds of her name, wherein obscurely Caesar's ambition shall be glanced at. And after, let Caesar seat her shore, for we will shake him, or worse days endure. Who's there?
A Roman?
Casca, by your voice.
Your ear is good, Cassius. What night is this?
Pleasing night to be honest men.
Whoever knew the heavens read is so?
You are dull, Casca. And those sparks of life that should be in a Roman, you do want, or else use not. You look pale and gaze and put on fear and wonder at the strange impatience of the heavens. Now, Casca, could I name to thee a man most like this dreadful night? No mightier than thyself or me in personal action, yet prodigious grown and fearful as these strange eruptions are.
'Tis Caesar that you mean, is it not, Cassius?
Be it who it is. For the Romans have thews and limbs like their ancestors, but woe the while our fathers' minds are dead, and we are governed with our mother's spirit. Our yoke and sufferance show us womanish.
Indeed. They say the senators tomorrow mean to establish Caesar as a king, and he shall wear his crown by sea and land in every place.
Well, I know where I will wear this dagger then. Cassius from bondage will deliver Cassius. Therein, ye gods, you make the weak most strong. Therein, ye gods, you tyrants do defeat. That part of tyranny that I do bear, I can shake off at pleasure.
So can I. So every bondman in his own hand bears the power to cancel his captivity.
Then why should Caesar be a tyrant then? Poor man, he were no wolf, but he sees that the Romans are but sheep. He were no lion if the Romans weren't deer.
Stand close a while, here comes another in haste.
'Tis Trebonius. I do know him by his gait. He is a friend. Be content, Casca. Now, lay these papers in the praetor's chair, where Brutus may but find them.
I will bestow these papers into them.
We will yet today see Brutus. 3 parts of her is already ours, and the woman entire is promised upon the next encounter.
Oh, she sits high in all the people's hearts, and that which would appear offence in us, her countenance, like richest alchemy, will then change to virtue and to worthiness.
You are right. Let us go.
What, Lucius? I cannot by the progress of the stars give guess how near today. Lucius, I say! Oh, but it were my fault to sleep so soundly. When, Lucius, when? Awake, I say, what, Lucius? Called you? Get me a taper in my study, Lucius. When it is lighted, come and call me here. I will. must be by his death. And for my part, I know no personal cause to spurn at him, but for the general. I mean, he would be crowned. How that might change his nature, there's the question. It is the bright day that brings forth the adder, and that craves wary walking. Crown him, that. And then, I grant, we put a sting in him, that at his will he may do danger with. The abuse of greatness is when it disjoins remorse from power, and to speak truth of Caesar, I have not yet known when his affection swayed more than his reason. But 'tis a common proof that loneliness is young ambition's ladder, whereto the climber upward turns his face. But when he once attains the utmost round, he then unto the ladder turns his back, looks in the clouds, scorning the base degrees by which he did ascend. So Caesar may, so lest he may prevent. And since the quarrel will bear no colour for the thing he is, fashion it thus, that what he is, augmented, would run at these and these extremities, and therefore think him as a serpent's egg, which hatched would, as his kind, grow mischievous, and kill him in the shell.
Taper burning in your closet. Searching the window for a flint, I found this paper thus sealed up, and I'm sure it did not lie there when I went to bed.
Get you to bed again, it is not day. But it is not tomorrow the Ides of March.
I know not.
Well, look in the calendar and bring me word. The exhalations whizzing in the air give me so much light that I may read by them. Brutus, thou sleepest. Awake and see thyself. Shall Rome stand under one man's or what? Rome. If the redress will follow, thou receivest thy full petition at the hand of Brutus.
March has wasted 14 days.
'Tis good. Go to the gate, somebody knocks. Since Cassius first did whet me against Caesar, I have not slept.
Sir, 'tis Cassius at the door who doth desire to see you.
Is he alone?
No, sir, there are more with him.
Let him enter.
I think we are too bold upon your rest. Good morrow, Brutus. Do we trouble you?
I have been up this hour, awake all night. Know I this man that comes along with you?
Yes, every one of us. This is Trebonius.
He is welcome hither. What watchful cares do interpose themselves betwixt your eyes and night? Give me your hands all over, one by one.
And let us swear our resolution.
No, not an oath. If not the face of men, this time's abuse. If these motives be weak, then break off betimes and everyone heads to their idle bed. And do not stain the virtue of our enterprise to think that our cause or our performance did need an oath.
Shall no man else be touched but only Caesar?
Well urged, Trebonius. I think it not meet that Antony, so beloved of Caesar, should outlive Caesar. We will find in him a shrewd contriver. Let Antony and Caesar fall together.
Our course will seem too bloody, Cassius. To cut the head off and then hack the limbs, like wrath in death and envy afterwards. For Antony is but a limb of Caesar. Let us be sacrificers, but not butchers. Cassius, we all stand up against the spirit of Caesar. And in the spirit of men there is no blood. Let's kill him boldly, but not wrathfully. And of Mark Antony, think not of
Yet
him.
I have a mind that fears him, for in the ingrafted love that he has
There
for
is
Caesar.
no fear in him. Let him not die, for he will live and laugh at this hereafter.
A peace, count the clock.
The clock hath stricken 3.
'Tis time to part.
Caesar is superstitious, grown of late. He may not come in tomorrow.
Never fear that, for if he be so resolved, I can oversway him. I will give him his humour the true bent, and I will bring him to the capital.
Nay, will all of us be there to fetch him? At 8. Is that the uttermost? Be that the uttermost, and fail not then.
The morning comes upon us. We will leave you, Brutus, and friends, disperse yourselves, and remember what you have said. And show yourselves to be good Romans.
But not our looks, but on our purposes. But bear it as our Roman actors do, with untied spirits and formal constancy. And so good morrow to you, every one.
Nor heaven nor earth hath been at peace tonight. Thrice hath Octavia in her sleep cried out, Help! Oh, they murder Caesar. Who's within?
What mean you, Caesar? Think you to walk forth? You shall not stir out of your house today.
Caesar shall forth. The things that threatened me near look but on my back, and when they see the face of Caesar, they are vanished.
Caesar, I never stood on ceremonies, yet now they fright me. There is one within besides what we have heard and seen, recounts most horrid sights seen by the watch. Oh, Father, these things are beyond all use, and I do fear them.
What can be avoided, whose end is purposed by the mighty gods? Yet Caesar shall fall. These predictions are to the world in general as to Caesar.
When beggars die, no comets are seen. The heavens themselves blaze forth the death of princes.
Cowards die many times before their death. The valiant never taste of death but once. Of all the wonders that I yet have heard, it seemed to me most strange that men should fear, seeing that death, a necessary end, will come when it will come. No. Caesar should be a beast without a heart if he to stay at home and wait for fear. No. Caesar shall not. Danger knows full well that Caesar is more dangerous than he. Well, we are two lions, littered in one day, and I, the elder and more terrible, and Caesar shall go forth.
You shall not go forth. Call it my fear that keeps you in the house today and not your own. We'll send back Antony to the Senate house, and he shall say you are not well today. Let me, upon my knee, prevail in this.
Mark Antony shall say I am not well. And for thy humour, I will stay at home today. Here's Trebonius, he shall tell them so.
Caesar, all hail. Good morrow, worthy Caesar. I come to fetch you to the Senate house.
I will not come today. Cannot is false, and that I dare not falser. I will not come today, tell them so.
Say he is sick.
Shall Caesar send a lie? I will not come.
Most mighty Caesar, let me know some cause, lest I be laughed at when I tell them so.
The cause is in my will. I will not come. That is enough to satisfy the Senate. But for your private satisfaction, because I love you, I will let you know. Octavia here, my daughter, dreams tonight she saw my statua, which like a fountain with 1,000 spouts did run pure blood. And these does she apply for warnings and portents and evils imminent, and on her knee hath begged me stay at home today.
This dream is all amiss interpreted. It was a vision fair and fortunate. Your statue spouting blood in many pipes, in which so many smiling Romans bathed, signifies that from you great Rome shall suck reviving blood. This, by Octavia's dream, is signified.
And this way have you so well expounded it. Oh, how foolish do your fears seem now, Octavia. I am ashamed I did yield to them. Get me my robe, for I will go. Oh, and here's Cassius come to fetch me.
Good morrow, Caesar.
Welcome, Cassius. What? Brutus? So early too. Good morrow, Casca. Or is it to clock?
Caesar to stricken 8.
I thank you for your pains and courtesy. See, Antony, the rebels' lights is notwithstanding up. Good morrow, Antony.
So too, most noble Caesar.
Yeah, and bid them prepare within. I am to be blamed to be thus waited for. Good friends, we go at once, straight away.
every like is not the same. O Caesar, the heart of Brutus yearns to think upon.
The Ides of March are come.
I wish your enterprise today may thrive.
Enterprise.
Oh, what's such a bonus?
He said he wished today his enterprise might thrive.
Casca be sudden, for we fear prevention. Brutus, what shall be done? If this be known, neither Caesar nor Cassius shall turn their back, for I will slay myself.
Cassius, be constant. For look, Trebonius speaks not of our purposes. Look, he smiles, and Caesar doth not change.
Trebonius knows that it is time. Casca, you be the first that rears your hand.
What is now amiss that Caesar and his Senate must redress?
I shake thy hand, but not in flattery, Caesar.
What, Brutus?
Pardon, Caesar. Caesar, pardon, as low as to thy foot doth Cassius fall. To beg for democracy for Rome.
I could be so well moved if I were as you. If I could pray to move. Prayers would move me, but I am as constant as the northern star. Men are flesh and blood and apprehensive, yet in that unsaliable rank I know but one, that he unsaliable and unheld of motion remains in his rank, and that I am he!
Oh, Caesar,
Why does Brutus kneel?
speak hands for me.
And you, Brutus?
Liberty, freedom, tyranny is dead. Run hence, proclaim, cry it about the streets.
Some to the common pulpits and cry out liberty, freedom, and
So
democracy.
people and senators, be not affrighted, fly not, stand stiff, ambition set is pay.
Get you to the pulpit, Brutus.
And Cassius too. Where's Lucius?
Here. Quite confounded with this mutiny.
Lucius, there is no harm intended to your person, nor to no Roman else. So tell them, Lucius.
And leave us, Lucius, lest that the people rushing on us should do your age some mischief.
Do so, and let no man abide this deed, but we the doers.
Where is Antony?
Fled to his house amaze.
Stoop, Roman, stoop. And let us bathe our hands in Caesar's blood. Up to the elbows, and besmear our swords. Then walk we forth even to the marketplace, and waving our red weapons over our heads, let's all cry out peace, freedom, and liberty.
Watch we forth.
Yes, every man away. Brutus shall lead, and we will grace her heels with the boldest and best hearts in Rome.
Soft, who comes here? Lucius.
Thus, Brutus, he bade me say, if Brutus will vouchsafe that Antony may safely come to him, and be resolved how Caesar hath deserved to lie in death, then Antony shall not live Caesar dead so well as Brutus living. So says Antony.
Antony is a wise and valiant Roman. I never thought him worse. So tell him, come unto this place, and he shall be satisfied, and by my honour depart untouched.
I'll fetch him presently.
I know we shall have him well to friend.
I wish we may, but I have a mind that fears him, and it grows shrewdly to the purpose.
Here comes Mark Antony. Welcome, Mark Antony.
Oh, mighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? For all thy glories, conquests, triumphs, and spoils shrunk to this little measure. Very well. I know not what you intend. Who else must let blood? Who else is rank? If I myself, there is no hour so fit as Caesar's death hour live 1,000 years. I find myself no more apt to die. No place will please me so, no mean of death as here by Caesar, and by you cut off and lost the spirits of this age.
Antony, but not your death of us. Though we now appear bloody and cruel, our hearts, you see not. They are pitiful and pity to the general wrong of Rome. As fire drives out fire, so pity hath done this deed on Caesar.
Your voice shall be as strong as anyone's in disposing these new dignities.
Only be patient till we have appeased the multitudes, beside themselves with fear, and then we will deliver to you the cause as to why I that loved Caesar so when I struck him have thus proceeded.
I doubt not your wisdom. Therefore let each one render me their bloody hand. First you, Marcus Brutus, I will shake with thee. Next, Cassius, I do take your hand. Valiant Casca, yours. And last, but not last in love, yours, good Trebonius. Oh, alas, what shall I say? My credit stands on such slippery grounds. One of two bad ways you must conceit me, either a coward or a flatterer. I did love thee, Caesar, oh, 'tis true. And if thy spirit look upon us now, let it not grieve thee dearer than thy death, to see thy Antony making his peace, shaking the bloody fingers of thy foes. Pardon me, Julius, thou bayest brave heart. Here didst thou fall, here thy hunters
Mark
stand.
Antony!
Caius Cassius, the enemies of Caesar, shall say this, then in a friend it is called modesty.
I blame you not for praising Caesar so, but what compact mean you to have with us?
Therefore I took your hands, but was swayed from the point upon looking down on Caesar. Friends, I am with you all and love you all, upon this hope that you shall give me reasons why and wherein Caesar was dangerous.
Our reasons are so full of good regard that you yourself, Antony, you shall be satisfied.
That's all I require. Upon the notion that I should bring his body to the marketplace and in the pulpit as becomes a friend, speak in order of the funeral.
You shall, Mark Antony.
Brutus, a word with you. You know not what you do. Do not consent for Antony to speak at Caesar's funeral.
Well, by your pardon, I myself will into the pulpit first, and show our reason of our Caesar's death. What Antony shall speak, I will protest, and say he does it by leave, and by our permission it shall advantage us more than do us wrong.
I like it not. I do not want.
Mark Antony, you shall not in your funeral speech blame us, but speak all good you can devise of Caesar, and say you do it by our permission, or else you shall have no hand about his funeral at all.
Be it so, I desire no more.
Prepare the body then, and follow us.
Pardon me, thou bleeding piece of earth, that I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Thou art the ruin of the noblest man to ever live in the tide of times. Caesar's spirit, raging with revenge, shall in these confines of a monarch's voice cry havoc, and let slip the dogs of war with carrion men groaning for burial. I shall tell Octavia what hath chanced. Here is a mourning Rome, a dangerous Rome. No Rome of safety for Octavia yet.
your senses that you may the better judge. To any man here, any dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say that Brutus's love to Caesar was no less than his. If then that friend questions why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I loved Caesar less, but that I loved Rome more. What would it better Caesar were living to die all slaves? Or than Caesar dead to live all freemen? As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoice at it. As he was valiant, I honour him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. There is tears for his love, joy for his fortune, honour for his valour, and death for his ambition. Who here is so base that would be a slave? If any, speak, for him I have offended. Who here is so rude that would not be a Roman? If any, speak, for him I have offended. Who here is so vile that would not love his country? If any, speak, for him I have offended. I pause for a reply.
None. Brutus, none.
Then none have I offended. I have done no more to Caesar than you shall do to Brutus. Here is his body mourned by Mark Antony, though he had no hand in his death, shall receive the full benefit of his dying, a place in the Commonwealth. As which of you shall not? With this I depart, that as I slew my best lover for the good of Rome, I have the same dagger for myself when my country is in need of my death. Good countrymen, let me depart alone and stay here with Antony. Do grace his speech tending to Caesar's glories. I pray thee let no man depart save I alone till Antony have spoke.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil men do lives after them. The good is oft interred with their bones, so let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious, and if it were so, it were a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is honourable, so are they all honourable. Come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is honourable. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms the general coffers did fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When the poor hath cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is honourable. You all did see on the Lupercal when I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure, Brutus is honourable. I come not to disprove what Brutus spoke. I am here to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? O judgment, art thou fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason? Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me.
There's not a nobler man in Rome than Antony.
Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. Judge, oh you gods, how dearly Caesar loved her. I come not, friends, to steal away your hearts. I am no orator as Brutus is. But as you know me all, a plain, blunt man that love my friend. For I have neither wit, nor words, nor worth, action, nor utterance, nor power of speech to stir men's blood. I speak only straight on. I tell you, which you yourselves do already know. Were I, Brutus, there were an Antony that could ruffle up your spirits and move the stones of Rome to rise and mutiny. Here was a Caesar. When comes another?
Never! Never! We'll burn his body in the holy place amid the brands, fire the traitors' houses.
Thither I will straight to Octavia. She comes upon a wish, and fortune is merry, and in this mood she will give us anything. Brutus and Cassius are fled like madmen. Octavia. Octavia, these are who shall die, their names are writ.
Upon condition, Trebonius shall not live. Who is your sister's son, Mark Antony?
He shall not live. Look, I damn him with a spot. Octavia, I have seen more days than you. Now, Octavia, listen. Brutus and Cassius are levying powers. Therefore, let our alliance be made, our best friends matched, and our means stretched. And let us presently go sit in council how covert matters may be best disclosed.
Let us so, for we are at the stake and bayed about with many enemies.
Most noble sister, you've done me wrong.
Judge me, you gods, wrong I mine enemies. If not so, how shall I wrong a brother?
That you have done me wrong doth appear in this. You have condemned and noted me for taking bribes.
Let me tell you, Cassius, you yourself are much condemned. To sell your officers for gold to undeservers.
You know that you are Brutus that speaks this. Or by the gods, this speech were else your last.
The name of Cassius honours this corruption. And chastisement doth therefore hide his head.
Chastisement?
But remember March, the Ides of March. Remember. Did not great Julius bleed for justice's sake? What villain touched his body that did stab and not for justice? Was so one of us that struck the foremost man of all this world, but for supporting robbers, shall we now contaminate our fingers with base bribes? I had rather be a dog and bathe the moon than such a Roman.
Brutus, bay not me. I'll not endure it. You forget yourself to hedge me in.
Go to, you are not Cassius.
I am.
I say you are not.
Urge me no more, have mind upon your health,
Oh,
tempt me no further.
Away, slight man.
It's possible.
Look, hear me, for I will speak. Shall I give room and way to your rash choler? Shall I be frighted when a madman
Oh,
stares?
you gods, must I endure all this?
Aim more, for it will your proud heart bake. Must I budge? Must I stand and crouch under your testy?
Is it come to this?
You say you are a better soldier, let it appear so. Make your vaunting true, and it shall please me well. Oh, and for my own part, I shall be glad to learn of noble men.
You wrong me, Brutus. You wrong me. Every way I said an elder soldier, not a better. Did I say better?
If you did, I cannot.
Do not presume too much upon my love. I may do that I shall be sorry
You
for.
have done that you should be sorry for. There is no terror they pass me by, like the idle wind which I respect not.
Brutus hath rived my heart. A friend should bear her friend's infirmities, but Brutus makes mine greater than they are.
I do not till you practice them on me.
You love me not.
I do not like your faults.
Come, Antony, come, Octavia, avenge yourselves alone on Cassius. For Cassius is aweary of the world, hated by one he loves. There is my dagger, take it. Strike me as thou didst Caesar. For I know when thou hated him most, thou lovest him more than thou ever lovest Cassius.
Sheath your dagger. Do what you will, dishonour shall be humour.
Hath Brutus lived to be but laughter and mirth to his Cassius?
When I spoke that, I was ill-tempered too.
Do you confess so much? Give me your hand.
And my heart too.
Oh, Brutus.
What's the matter?
Do you not have love for me? To lend with me when that rash humour that my mother gave me makes me forgetful?
Yes, Cassius. Yes, and friend, henceforth, whenever you are over earnest, with your Brutus shall think your mother chides, and leave you so.
Did not think you could have been so angry.
Oh, Cassius, I am sick of many griefs.
Unscathed I was killing when I crossed you.
I bury all unkindness, Cassius. Casca, I have received letters from young Octavia and Mark Antony that they come down upon us with a mighty power. Myself have received letters of the self-same tenor. But what think you of marching presently?
I think it not.
Your reason?
I think it best that we wait for the enemy to seek us.
Upon your pardon, you must note beside that we have tried the utmost of our friends. Our course is ripe. The enemy increaseth every day. And such a full sea are we now afloat that it is better to take the current when it serves, or else lose our ventures.
Then with you we'll go on. We'll along ourselves and meet them tomorrow.
The night has crept upon our talk. Is there no more to say?
No more. Good night. Tomorrow early we will rise and hence.
Farewell, Casca. Good night, Trebonius.
Good night, dear sister. Such an ill beginning to the night. Never before such division between our souls. Let it not, Brutus.
Who comes here? I think it is the weakness of mine eyes that shapes this monstrous apparition. Art thou anything? Speak what thou art. Why comest thou? Now thou vanishest. They stand and would have parley.
We must out and talk.
Mark Antony, shall we give sign of battle?
No, we will answer on their charge.
You stir not until the signal.
words before blows, is it so, countrymen?
Not that we love words better, as you do.
Good words are better than bad strokes, Octavia.
Villains, you did not so when your vile daggers hacked one another in the sides of Caesar. You showed your teeth like apes and fawned like hounds, and bowed like bondsmen, kissing Caesar's feet, whilst damned Casca, like a cur from behind, struck Caesar. Oh, you flatterers!
Come to cause. If arguing make us sweat, the proof of it will turn to redder drops. Look, I draw a sword against conspirators. When think you that sword goes up again? Never. Till Caesar's 33 wounds be well avenged. Or till another Caesar have added slaughter to the sword of traitors.
Caesar, thou canst not die by traitors' hands, unless thou bringest them with thee.
So I hope. I was not born to die on Brutus's sword. Become Antony away. Look, defiance. Traitors, hurl we in your teeth. If you dare fight today, come to the field. If not, when you have stomachs.
Well, most noble Brutus, since the affairs of men still rest in thee, in certain let's reason with the worst that may befall. If we do lose this battle, is this the last time that we will speak together?
Whether we shall meet again, I know not. Therefore, our everlasting farewell take. Forever, and forever farewell, Cassius. If we do meet again, why we shall smile. If not, why then this parting was well made.
Forever and forever farewell, Brutus. If we will meet again, we shall smile. And it is true, if not, this parting was well made.
Why then lead on. That a man might know this business ere it come. But it sufficeth that the day will end, and then the end is known. Come away.
Go, Trebonius, my sight was never thick. Tell me what thou noticed about the fight. Ah! This day I did breathe first. Time is come round, and where I did begin, there shall I end. My life has run its compass. Sirrah, what news?
Casca is taken, and hark, they shout for joy.
Come down. Behold no more. Be a free man, and with this sword that ran through Caesar's bowels, search his bosom. Stand not to answer, take thou hilts. When my face is covered, guide thou sword. Caesar, thou art revenged even with the sword that killed thee.
So I am free. Yet I would have not been so durst I have done my will, O Cassius. Far from this land Trebonius will run, where never Roman shall take note of him.
turns the sword in our own petty entrails.
Brave Trebonius, look where we have not crowned dead Cassius.
Friend, I owe more tears to this dead man than you shall see me pay. I will find time, Cassius. I will find time. Come, Lucius. Romans gently, and might we may find fortune in this second fight. Lucius. Slaying is the word. It is a deed in fashion. Good Lucius, list the word.
What says my lord?
Why this, Lucius? The ghost of Caesar hath appeared to me too several times. By night I know my hour is come.
Not so, my lord.
Nay, I am sure it is. Thou seest the world, Lucius, how it goes. But our enemies have beat us to the pit. It is more worthy to leap in ourselves than tarry till they push us. Good Lucius, thou knowest that we two went to school together, even for that our love of old. I prithee, hold thou my sword hilt, whilst I do run on it. Wilt thou, Lucius?
That's not an office, but a friend, my lord.
Unite my hands upon mine eyes, my bones would rest, that have but laboured to attain this hour. I prithee, Lucius, say thou by thy lord, that thou art a fellow of good respect, thy life hath had some match of honour in it. Hold then my sword whilst I do run on it, wilt thou, Lucius?
Give me your hand first. Very well, my lord.
Farewell. Good Lucius. Caesar, now be still. I killed not thee with half so good a will.
What woman is that? Lucius, where is thy master?
Free from the bondage you are in, Octavia. The conquerors can but make a fire of her, for Brutus only overcame herself, and no one else hath honour by her death.
All that serve Brutus, I will entertain them.
How died Brutus, Lucius?
I held the sword and she did run on it.
This was the noblest Roman of them all. Of all the conspirators, save she did what they did in envy of great Caesar. She alone thought of common and honest good to all. Let she know. Her life was gentle, and the elements so mixed up in hand that nature might stand up to the world and say, this was a Roman.
According to her virtue, let us use her, with all respect and rites of burial. Within my tent her bones tonight shall lie, most like a soldier, ordered honourably. So call the field to rest, and let's away, to part the glory of this happy